Pirates, Attack of the Zombie Pirates, which was a standalone DLC that we released on Steam around Halloween. And Woody had a big influence on the next title that we worked on, which was Pirates of Black Cove. We released the PC version, was it last August, and just recently DLC Origins. And I think, well, basically, when starting on Black Cove, we started to develop a marketing support app, iOS, which was at the time Syncmore. Didn't take us long to realize that what we had in the hands was a lot more than a marketing support tool and a really good game as such. So we decided to spend a little bit more time on it, and we're now preparing our release. So, the backstory is Captain Barrel, in the base game on the PC, he let the Black Covians into his stronghold, befriended them, they did what they did, being pirates, and stole his stronghold, stole all his treasure, and kicked him out. Barrel being the hardcore pirate that he is, he didn't sort of take this sitting down, so of course he came back and stole all his treasure back, and now he's hightailing it on the seas, trying to avoid and evade the Black Covians, who obviously want this treasure back. So, enemies, Black Covians, many of these enemies are there to A, steal the gold back, or B, destroy you. And we give you a whole bunch of special weapons in the game to achieve this means. Some of these being Caribbean 17th century homing rockets, part voodoo, part science. My personal favorite, but that's another discussion because it involves several weeks of emailing back and forth with the ESRB as to why the fart bomb should not be considered prudent content. Yeah. Okay, so the game is basically broken up into 3 key chapters. Each chapter has roughly 6 levels, waves of enemies, their own bosses, and that type of thing. Typical game view, we've got 2 core or key control mechanics, so I guess you could call it SWAT for the more casual experience. Tapping the screen to fire the cannons, and then of course joystick controller for those that prefer a more refined experience in terms of controlling. And the icon on the right is basically firing cannons, and above that we have our special weapon sets here. So for example, here we have the fart bomb, and this is the mortar box. And enemies or waves of enemies are depicted on the side of the screen to not occupy too much real estate with many maps and that type of thing, so we really know where the enemies are. Okay. So, I guess Henry's going to give us a quick walkthrough, and I'll talk through what he's doing, and then we've got the game on pad for you guys to check out. I'll bring one there to you now, as soon as you're ready. Selection over here. We've got the tropics of the Caribbean, the icy waters of the Arctic, the volcanic ends of the Earth, and then somewhat of a Pandora's box where we aim to insert different special levels and all that through our continuous support of the title. We're going to take the easy one, yeah? Brief sort of cutscenes just to introduce the player to the backstory behind that particular. Not that it's a story-driven experience at all. So really intuitive and responsive controls with the stick. Every time we sink an enemy, it leaves behind a box, bonus box, so it could be different weapon upgrades or cannonballs or balls of fire or balls of steel or ice balls, slowdowns, speed multipliers, small multipliers. As said earlier, some of these enemies are attempting to steal gold and some of them are attempting to destroy you. So those that are stealing gold, as they steal your gold, the gold meter, which is one of the criteria area of the game reduces. When you sink them, it leaves behind the gold box, which you can get that gold back with. Yeah, now Henry's showing us the SWAT controls. And tap to fire. Boss fights include things like krakens and all of that type of thing as well. So, star system, obviously being a little bit of a score chaser, I think it's kind of very important, and we will support high scores and all the rest of it as well. But okay, so shall we fire up?
Is it good? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Good stuff. Alright. 3 stars. You want to try it? You start from the tutorial. And
I'll start from there.
Awesome.
Oh hey guys, when you do the presentation, do you use the speakers? Are they on?
Well, at least we've got that guy video.
Löytyy sääli mitään kuvaa videolla? Voidaan nyt sulkea tänne.
Joo.
Onko se kovin sun väri jossain? Se on joo, tossa. Käytössä. Ei oo enää. Mä annan sulle. Niin se on tää. Se on se siellä. Joo.
More than a few ways to steer and shoot.
Yeah. So basically, if you steer by drawing the line, you will shoot by your other finger and steer with your other finger. So it works with 2 fingers.
Varmella. Onko se ennenpä jälkeen?
This was good. But Brent, is the square ready for us for the what about head up?
Head up is there.
Okay, so use it the last three. No, this was good.
So this is one of the hardest levels.
What difficulty was it on again?
Sorry?
What difficulty was it on again?
This is one of the latest chapter 3 levels, which are really, really hard.
Chapter 3.
Yeah. Like you, as you can see, there are quite a few ships. Yeah, pretty hard.
Even on the second difficult. Even at the second hardest difficulty.
I mean the second chapter. The first chapter is pretty easy. Then it goes more challenging. Like chapter 2 is already quite challenging, and chapter 3 levels are the most challenging one.
Then chapter 4 has yet to be announced.
Yes, and we also have the treasure chest levels, which are not storyline levels, but special levels that you can like unlock by liking us on Facebook, for example, collecting 25 stars. You have a variety of different things that you can unlock these levels. And these levels include like survival mode. You can play as a kraken in one of the levels and fun stuff like that.
And what are the other 5 achievements?
They are yet to be announced.
Yet to be announced.
Yeah.
So same thing again tonight, yes? Ludwig.
Cookie. Check that plug.
Charlie, just head up village.
stars.
Mitähän tää on?
Olet sä sun ei?
Onks tää breakout näin?
En tiedä, on
Okay.
Kuka teillä on?
Yes, please.
Mä en tiedä, kun ne selittää sitä.
Yes, box.
There's one player for the VGA cable. We don't know if it's also not so I don't know.
He's gonna be the leader, but then.
Alright, gentlemen, have a good one. See you there.
Hei, mä haen mukaan.
Nähdään tuossa aulassa. Saat semmonen kamat tuotu. Assari. Jos siis kokis assarikin.
It's good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Lasit työnannavikin.